If you're in the market for a value tablet that is not only affordable, but very powerful with a plethora of third-party accessories, then the iPad 8 is the only tablet that you should be considering this far into 2021, and let me tell you why. It's been over 6+ months now since the iPad 8 was released to the public, and it has exceeded most of my expectations. The iPad 9 is not set to release until September 2021, and early rumors indicate that we are not expecting a major redesign. So the iPad 8 is looking like a very good option if you want a powerful, affordable tablet for schoolwork or just general day-to-day usage. How's it going, everyone? My name is RJ, and on this channel we cover everything and anything iPad related. So if you like what you see and you want to help support the channel, all I ask for you to do is drop a like on this video. After watching this video, if you do like what you saw and you find value in my videos, then do consider subscribing to the channel for a lot more. So this is the 8th generation of the infamous iPad, and not much has really changed in terms of design. But it's under the hood where this iPad really shines. That sort of did rhyme, but I'm not a rapper. The iPad 8 comes in at $300 US for 32 gigabytes of storage. Now, storage capacity is very dependent on the user. I've been using the 32 gigabyte variant of the iPad 8 for the past 6 months, and I haven't had the need for the extra storage. Obviously, this is very dependent on what you're using the iPad 8 for. I primarily use this iPad as a Kindle reader, a tablet to browse the web, jot down some notes, and draw some sketches for filming videos just like this one. And you know what? I've been more than content with the 32 gigabyte variant. But if you are going to be using this iPad as your main go-to computer, then do consider getting the 128 gigabyte variant. You will not regret it. Also, just a friendly reminder, if you are a student, take advantage of that student discount and save some money. I feel like a major reason why a lot of people choose to skip this iPad and go for the iPad 8 or the iPad Pro is because of this design. Yes, the bezels are outdated and pronounced, and yes, there is still a home button. But if you can somehow get past the design, then you will come to the realization that the price to performance ratio of this iPad is truly undefeated. With the iPad 8, for some odd reason, Apple chose to continue using a Lightning port, so there is no USB-C here, but there is sort of a silver lining. Included in the box is a USB-C to Lightning adapter, so you will get faster charging speeds compared to the 2019 iPad. But don't for a second think that you'll have any performance issues. One of Apple's core strengths for all of their devices is RAM management. So a lack of RAM doesn't really matter, and that's mainly thanks to software optimization. So you can easily get by with just 3 gigabytes of RAM. You'll have no issues running whatever application you want. You see, the beauty of iPad OS is that applications are made by developers specifically catered for the iPad. If you are running an intensive application like LumaFusion, you can in fact edit and export 4K video without any performance issues. 4K video editing is something that even my fully maxed out 16-inch MacBook Pro tends to struggle with while rendering. Now, you do get a rather big display on the iPad 8. We have a 10.2-inch Retina display with a 74.4% screen to body ratio, so about 25% of this iPad is bezels. Take that however you will. Believe it or not, this screen is terrific. Although it is an LCD display, it does get the job done. For the most part, viewing angles are great. I did notice a bit of glare and reflection, but once I slapped on this Paperlike screen protector, all of that completely disappeared. What exactly is Paperlike, you ask? Well, essentially, Paperlike is a screen protector for your iPad that not only protects your iPad's displays from scratches and blemishes, but it also gives you that invaluable feeling like you are writing on paper. I do feel a bit more added friction while I'm using the Apple Pencil, which gives me the feeling of smooth natural strokes when I'm writing or drawing. Take a listen to the texture difference while I'm writing on an iPad with Paperlike versus an iPad without Paperlike. I hope you guys were able to hear that noticeable difference. It is a game changer, but a lot of you wanted to know how Paperlike wear and tears over time. Well, I've had it installed on my 2018 iPad Pro for well over a year now, and the screen protector has held up just fine. Every purchase comes with 2 screen protectors, and I'm still on my first one. As an added bonus, the tip of my Apple Pencil hasn't worn out at all. In fact, I haven't even had the need to replace my tip yet. So yeah, I've enjoyed using Paperlike on all of my iPads. It's definitely a worthy buy without many drawbacks. If you guys have any questions about Paperlike, leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure to get back to each and every single one of you. Now, coming back to this display, This panel is great for surfing the web, scrolling through photos, and watching YouTube. I do find that the detail isn't necessarily super sharp, but it is good enough to get the job done. I honestly love using the iPad 8 just as a regular tablet. It's lightweight, portable, and comes in at the perfect size in my opinion at 10.2 inches. If you are looking to buy your first ever iPad and you aren't too familiar with iPadOS, the iPad 8 is a great place to start. Longevity has always been one of Apple's core strengths, and with the iPad 8 you'll receive software updates for at least the next 5 to 6 years. Even the iPhone 6s, which was released in 2014, is expected to get iOS 15. That is just mind-boggling to me, so the software support is just terrific. If you do want to use the iPad 8 as a mini laptop, it is entirely possible with Apple's Smart Keyboard. This quietly transforms your tablet into one of the best laptops money can buy for under $500. If you are willing to spend the extra $159, the Apple keyboard delivers a pretty good typing experience, but it's not in the same league as the Magic Keyboard. The Smart Keyboard has a rubbery feel to it, and it's not a backlit keyboard. I do use it sometimes for typing up scripts and notes, but it's not the best keyboard on the planet. A big downside is the lack of a built-in touchpad, which I think is a necessity for any keyboard in 2021. So if you are planning on buying a keyboard, I do recommend opting to go with the Logitech Combo Touch Keyboard. It's also $150, and it includes not only a touchpad, but also a holster to store your Apple Pencil. Unfortunately, the iPad 8 still supports the first generation Apple Pencil, which is fine because it's great to write with and performs flawlessly, but it is a bit awkward since there is nowhere to store the Apple Pencil. So that Logitech keyboard is looking like a pretty good option. You also have to charge your Apple Pencil by plugging it into the Lightning port, which makes it stick out like a sore thumb. Let's talk about the cameras. I feel like a lot of people these days are using the front-facing camera a lot more than the rear camera, and this is mainly thanks to the new work-at-home culture. A lot of us are using Zoom and FaceTime these days, so we do need to prioritize a good front-facing camera. Well, on the iPad 8, we only get a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, and I have mixed feelings about this. It's more than adequate enough to get the job done with the right amount of lighting. But if you're primarily in a room with a single light source, your Zoom calls won't be the best. The 8th generation iPad is rated for 10 hours of web surfing on Wi-Fi and watching video. That does dip down to 9 hours if you opt to go for the cellular variant and you're using LTE. With that said though, over the past 6 months, I've only charged this iPad about once a week. What's even more surprising is I'm getting around 12 hours of screen on time consistently. This is better than the screen on time I was seeing on the more efficient M1 iPad Pro. Even though Apple includes a faster USB-C power brick this time around, the charging speeds aren't that impressive. I am getting around 20% in about 30 minutes, which isn't all that great. So what is my verdict on the iPad 8 after having used it for 6+ months? As Flossie Carter would say, this iPad is a major go. The A12 processor offers blistering performance for a tablet around $300, making this iPad a great option for just about anyone. Battery life surprisingly has been terrific, and I haven't noticed any battery degradation. Plus, don't forget that this can be used as a mini laptop with the addition of the Apple Pencil and Apple Smart Keyboard. Overall, in a span of 6+ months, this iPad has held up just fine. It's easily one of the best tablets for the money. Now, on the next iteration, I want to see a keyboard similar to the Magic Keyboard and 2nd generation Apple Pencil support. Come on Apple, that's the least that you guys can do. I think that those additions would take this iPad to the next level. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to flex with your tech.